Mad Max is a post-apocalyptic RPG where you play as, you guessed it, a semi-Mad Max work and upgrade his magnum opus and pass through the plains of silence. Made by Avalanche Studios, that same studio that created the amazing sandbox of the Just Cause games, videos on those in the future, this game isn't exempt from that amazing sandbox formula that Avalanche perfected, but as per usual for Avalanche, in my opinion, has a disappointing and confusing story that really brings it down to some points. Released on September 1st, 2015, it was not only outshined by Metal Gear Solid 5 that released on the same day, it was also outshined by the plethora of other AAA titles released that same year and in my opinion may not have gotten the recognition it deserved. Even in friend groups of my own, I struggled to find anyone who had even heard of this game in the first place. Even though this game wasn't widely received, whether via lack of promotional material or just by being overshadowed by the competition, I'm going to play it for myself and find out if it is worth the $4 it is right now on Steam. Hello all and returning viewers, I am Lazy Veggie and welcome to Mad Max. Spoiler, it is worth it, buy it right now. Disclaimer to begin, I kind of lost some of my footage at the start of the game, so some of the footage used from early game is from YouTube. Just thought I'd mention that before we get into it. To start off the game, we see Max in a car chase with some war boys in his iconic Interceptor. He appears to have the upper hand at first until more war boys come along with Scrotus, the main antagonist of the game. They catch him off guard. Scrotus beats Max down, and him and his war boys take Max's car and leave him for dead. Max reawakens just in time and jumps onto the back of Scrotus's caravan, van, truck, whatever you want to call it, and tries to face him head on. Max gets the upper hand, disarms Scrotus, and saws him through the fucking head before Scrotus throws him off, putting an end to Scrotus. In the following pieces of gameplay, I befriend a dog named Dinky D, who was abandoned by Scrotus. Following this, Dinky D is captured by a hunchback named Chum Bucket, who I can only describe as how I look writing this script. After some light threatening, Chum Bucket agrees to assist us in building a car as he is a Blackfinger, a mechanic in these lands. I eat some dog food for sustenance and continue on to an enemy camp to collect wire for Chum's buggy, where I quickly discombobulate the warboy guards. After giving the wire to Chum, we use the buggy to return to his hideout where Chum shows us the dream car he has for us, and ain't she a beaut? Just have a look for yourself.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
Max, however, is upset and ungrateful about the car's current stature, so Chum shows us where we can upgrade the parts along with where to collect a car body. After going to collect the car body and slightly persuading the buzzards to let us keep it, we return to Chum Bucket's base where we add some more modifications such as the harpoon. In our following travels, we meet a hobo who is responsible for Max's upgrades in the game using tokens called Griffer tokens, and we destroy an oil pump camp, one of the few types of enemy faction camps in the game. After this, we are attacked at Chum Bucket's base by Stank Gum's men, disciples of Scrotus. Stank Gum in this game seems to act as Scrotus's second in command. They destroy the base and we are forced to flee to Jeet's territory. This being the end of the tutorial is basically where I said fuck it. I'm exploring now and proceeded to begin clearing out all the lower areas of the map. Again, I don't have a good chunk of this footage, but I'll work with what I have. This is probably a good spot to talk about the overall gameplay loop and combat of Mad Max, the fun part. We'll start off with melee combat. This game's combat reminds me, and most people, of Arkham combat, and that would be a mostly fair assessment. Yes, they are very similar, but not entirely. Batman in the Arkham games is more of a dancer in his style. He flies around at fast speeds, taking enemies down with finesse, and with the help of his gadgets. Max, on the other hand, is a brutal brawler, fighting for his life like a ravenous dog. He is less precise, more careless, and swings wildly with heavy blows to his opponents. For gadgets, he has his shotgun and some shivs. In melee combat, you of course have your basic attack as well as a heavy attack, should you hold it down. You also have a parry, which if timed correctly gives you a perfect parry which you can use to do major damage to the enemy. You also have a dodge roll for unparryable attacks. Later on you can unlock more moves that allow you to perform finishes on enemies, disarm enemies, and blow shotgun shells through enemies at close range. The more enemies you fight, and the more moves you pull off, you will fill what is called the Fury meter. Once filled, you enter Fury mode, allowing you to do more damage, heal after killing enemies, perform fury finishes, and perform full-on wrestling moves to your opponents. Simple, but very fun.
Hey, that's pretty good.
The car combat is another beast. You start off with a shotgun, a harpoon, and the ability to ram enemy vehicles. As you progress and clear areas, you unlock more upgrades and obtain scrap to purchase those upgrades. As with having the ability to upgrade Max's gear with scrap, you can also upgrade your car. Upgrading the harpoon to pull down tougher structures and remove components from vehicles, the sniper that you can use from the car on enemies, the thunderpoon,
No, that's a lot of damage!
which is an explosive round fired from your vehicle that once upgraded can one-shot most enemy vehicles, side burners that will eat up your car's fuel but will burn enemy vehicles and do significant damage, and then also you can put spikes on your vehicles, which prevent enemies from boarding your vehicle during car combat. All these upgrades make for a very satisfying gameplay loop of exploring and really feeling like you are getting stronger. The only real issue I have with this is that once you have cleared the map and obtained the upgrades, the only real things you have to do are the story missions. After the map is cleared, some low-level enemies appear that you can dispatch easily, otherwise you're kind of just stuck driving around. I feel like this game would have been the perfect candidate for some DLC to stretch the upgraded magnum opus to its limits. I proceed to clear nearly all of Jeet's territory, though I haven't met him yet, and continue into Gutgash's territory, clearing the map and upgrading the magnum opus as well as Max himself. Doing this requires a hefty amount of scrap, so naturally I become the star on the next episode of Hoarders, picking up every little piece that I can get my little mitts on. Which leads me into a dust storm, where random scrap packages are blowing in the wind. Of course, I must oblige, and oh boy, am I glad I did. These babies drop 3 smaller packages valued at 100 scrap each, plus 50 scrap because of the volition ability I had maxed out from the hobo. So I was very much feeling like a high roller after picking up a few of those. Assuming I don't really know where to put this, I'm going to get my main gripe of the open world out of the way now, and that is the death races. I don't know what happened to the devs who balanced this shit, but I'm unsure if I should be sorry for you or happy that it happened. Some of these races are absolute insanity to the point not even I could be bothered to complete them all.
This is not right. This is not cool. This is fucking bullshit.
And I did all the fucking Riddler trophies in not 1, not 2, but all the Arkham games. The AI in these races puts Bowie Knife 99 to shame. These cars off-rip will gun straight for you, putting themselves in jeopardy. I know these are death races for a reason, but not every single car should just be targeting you with insane aggression.
Fuck you!
Not to mention most of the cars they provide have some of the worst handling I have ever seen. This could very well just be a get-good situation, but I feel like this is a level of unfair I haven't seen in many titles. Sorry for the insane rant, but I had to get that off my chest. Back to the scheduled programming. While still in Gutgash's territory, I stumbled upon another oil camp. Whilst clearing this camp, I would become overwhelmed by several shielded enemies, the bane of my existence.
Ooh, that's kind of small. Yikes.
And received my first death of the game. I then put on my proper gear and railed them into the ground whilst totally not almost dying again. I keep on exploring, clearing base after base, camp after camp until I come across another storm. So I do as I did before and start hoarding like my life depended on it until I try, that is, to get into my car, a completely reasonable thing to do. And then this happened.
My day is ruined.
Resulting in me losing about 3,000 scrap. I was very thrilled. But I didn't let that get me down for long. I had a thirst that needed quenching. I went to a top dog camp named the Proving Grounds, a base run by a boss named Gutnoose. Each boss has a different name, but unfortunately all the fights work almost identically. But unfortunately, I mean unfortunately for him, because I proceeded to single-handedly destroy his army with pure testosterone and stomp his head into the ground, lowering the threat in Gutgash's territory further. After clearing the Proving Ground, the southern part of the map was nearly finished, and it was finally time to continue the story where I finally meet Jeet, a leader who doesn't believe in any savior and just wants to protect his people, whose area I had already cleared of Scrotus control. He welcomes Max with a not-so-gracious welcome, seeming how we had nearly done all of his work for him. Max then speaks with him where he requests that Max lower Scrotus's grip on his area, which we have already done. Then he will assist Max in getting through the jaw, the all-ominous gate that prevents me from getting to Gastown and the all-precious V8 engine. We agreed to do so, we've already done it, and Jeet, in his hospitality, allows us to use a trigger part to make a sniper rifle for the magnum opus. Jeet warns us that we are not ready. He obviously doesn't know who we are. Max then goes and has a look at the jaw for himself and sees that, yeah, Jeet was very much correct. So he leaves as quickly as your father did for the milk 12 years ago. You know who you are. We return to Jeet, where he requests Max to complete some projects around his stronghold for rewards. Stronghold upgrades are collected from scavenging locations in the open world that we had already completed for most of Jeet's area. So I instantly got to work getting the stronghold up to scratch. Chumbucket proceeds to mention that Dinky D may still be alive and could still be with Chum's buggy at his base that was destroyed. We proceed to go and check. Surely enough, we find Dinky D in the back of Chum's buggy. Dinky D has a unique ability of sniffing out mines, so we spent the next hour driving around the map, clearing the mines where we couldn't before returning to Jeet's territory. Max then went and freed a powder cooker, as they're called in the wasteland, to provide Jeet's territory with ammunition. We next visit Gutgash, a man with a group of followers who believe that one day the water will return. They believe their ship will carry them through the seas. We, of course, have a standoff, and then proceed to make a deal and become best buds, because that's how this game works. Yet again, we upgrade the stronghold with the parts I collected while exploring. We then meet Hope and her daughter Glory.
Oh yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for.
They are locked away for now, and we will see more of them later. We speak to Gutgash again and find out that he has the ability to provide us with an explosive to breach the jaw, but we need to destroy a convoy and take the tip from the leader. Once the convoy is destroyed, we speak with Hope again, and she informs us of a rig that she was once on that was ambushed. It has treasure on board, an upgrade to my sniper to be exact. It's located on the north side of the map past the jaw and is not available right now. We return to Jeet with a new tip and install the Thunderpoon explosive. Now it is time we've all been waiting for. Time to breach through the jaw. It was actually way easier than expected with the Thunderpoon. I made short work of the surrounding enemies and the hinges on the doors to make quick entry into Pink Eye's territory to continue my clearing of the map. Max receives a quest from Gutgash to collect an idol for his people, with a large amount of scrap as the reward, so of course we agree. After getting there and clearing the tunnel, Max finds that it was an old sign for a fresh fish shop. We mark it and receive 200 scrap. I feel scammed. Max next finds a stank gum camp. In these camps, you must destroy the perimeter defenses, enter the camp, and take down all enemies. There are several different sized ones around the map, and with my combat prowess, I make short work of the camp. Max next enters the top dog camp named The Drop to fight the boss, Cockalocker. Do with that info what you will. Again, the fight plays out the same as the other bosses, and I make easy work out of him and end his misery. I next come across the biggest fuel pump base I have ever seen, requiring me to remove 7 fuel pumps in different areas. After almost dying, I successfully clear them out. Now it was time to visit the war rig that Hope had told me about earlier for my sniper upgrade. The tunnel is filled with sludge, but we managed to collect the upgrade without too much trouble. Next on my list was the Top Dog Camp Tyrant's Leash, where I would fight Piggin Sticker. Sadly again, the boss fight is trivial, where I dodge his attacks and then punish to stun him until the fight is over. Following this, I clear another one of Stankgum's camps and proceed to speak to Hope once more. She tells me of Dementus and how he was defeated. For anyone who needs a refresher, Chris Hemsworth plays him in the latest movie. Yeah, that guy. She even gives me the location of his vehicle. We of course collect it and nearly never look at it ever again, as I only have eyes for one car.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
I next try to continue disarming mines in Pink Eye's territory, but in my travels I get too close to her base and start the next mission. In said mission, Max is tasked with stopping an assault of Pink Eye's stronghold by destroying catapults that have been set up around the said stronghold. To do so, we must rip covers off the catapults and fire a Thunderpoon shot into their insides. Once the catapults are dismantled, we enter the camp, clearing a few waves of enemies inside until I reach the main part of the stronghold. There Max finds Pink Eye herself in a bit of strife with Stank Gum himself. We also find that Stank Gum has captured Hope since we last saw her. Stank Gum spots me and we have a battle before Stank Gum retreats, taking Hope with him. Pink Eye thanks us by threatening to kill us before coming to her senses and realizing Max was helping her the whole time. Pink Eye, like Gutgash, seems a little bit insane. Her plan is to build a boat on wheels to sail across the plains of silence to see what's on the other side. After upgrading her stronghold and collecting a sail, scrap and some provisions, they build a ship and set sail for the Big Nothing. I know that was kind of quick, but Pink Eye nearly adds nothing to the story, so we speak with Jeet again, who wants us to borrow a big fuel truck to pack it with explosives and use it to clear a separate passage into the Dead Barrens for Jeet to use for trading. And because I am so great at listening to instructions, I first end up destroying the fuel truck, having to return later. After successfully liberating the fuel truck, we have the powder cooker we saved earlier mount explosives on board and blow a hole straight into the Dead Barrens, after which I enter the dump, the area right before Gastown, where I begin dismantling Scrotus's control here as well. Then I next enter Deep Friar's Temple, the last stronghold of the game. Max speaks with Chumbucket, who wants to collect some of his gear he had left behind from when he worked for Scrotus. We go and collect his gear, which allows us to upgrade his repair speed for the Magnum Opus. Good stuff. I speak with Deep Friar again, where he asks me to open gas valves from Gastown to his temple. So of course, that means it is time to go to Gastown. After diverting the gas to the temple for Deep Friar, it is time to enter our names into the Gastown races. We are going in for the chance to defeat the Chief, their prize vehicle with the almighty V8 engine on board. With some persuasion to the Outcrier, we are given a task to get into the races. We have to get this guy some more lights for his outfit from the Underdune. In the Underdune, we get ambushed, but through button mashing, we fight them off and collect the lights and escape. We return to the Outcrier and give him the lights, and he adds us to the races. But we find out we also need a partner who is cleared for the races.
What the hell is even that?
So we visit Crowdazzle, the man responsible for the death races I so very much hate.
Crowdazzle, bid you welcome to the Circle of Luck.
Wow, no.
And he points me towards a junkie who can join me. For her to join, she wants her debt with Crowdazzle cleared. He accepts so long as I complete another fucking race for him.
You race for Crow, here, now.
No! God! No! God, please, no! No! No!
And the spill.
No!
But I get to use the Magnum Opus with the Thunderpoon, so it's not so bad. We win the race and have to wait for my partner to sober up. Whilst we wait, Max goes and sees Gutgash again, who requires assistance from us as the war boys are attacking his ship. With the Thunderpoon, I easily clear the waves of enemies and finally head off to Gastown once again to complete the Gastown race. The goal of the race is to destroy the Big Chief driven by Stinky Gum, the current Gastown champion, the prize being the Big Chief itself and Hope, who is still being held captive by Stank Gum. In a turn of events, we are securely locked in our car and Warboys mount a metric ton of fucking explosives to the back of the car. So now we have a time limit to race against too. Not that it fucking matters at all. With my near maxed out Magnum Opus and Thunderpoon, I almost immediately annihilate Stinky Gummy and his car, after which both Max and his partner are locked in a cage where only one may leave.
You're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Of course, we destroy Tenderloin, my partner, in the fight and move on to collect my prize, the almighty V8 engine. But before we can claim our prize, we are first told we have to meet someone. It's fucking Scrotus. The guy we put a chainsaw through into his brain is still alive. My only guess is his skull is so thick the chainsaw just shattered on impact. Anyways, he immediately recognizes us and starts throwing hands on Max. It looks like he's about to pull a Bane on this man, before throwing him down onto a platform for a boss fight. This Scrotus fight plays very similarly to the other top dogs we fought earlier, except his weapon is a double-ended saw. During the fight, Warboys jump down and assist Scrotus, which works well for me to build up my Fury meter for bonus damage. Max weakens Scrotus and is about to best him when Stank Gum shoots Max with a crossbow, giving Scrotus the upper hand back. Max is knocked into a pit of sludge and assumed dead until Hope pulls him out and gets him medical attention. Max has some weird dreams of Dinky D as a part man, part dog. We see Chum Bucket with a top hat and even get married to Hope within the dream. I don't know what that doctor gave me, but damn, that's some strong shit.
We fucked up.
I awake to find Scab, a blood bag attached to me, keeping me alive. He was placed here because of injury and hates Scrotus for it, as he never got to die in combat. We are then given another task by the Outcrier to steal Crowdazzle's car, in which I do gladly.
It's free real estate.
She then tries to help Max escape with her as Scrotus is looking for Max. But Max is a true Sigma male and just wants his V8. She agrees to help so long as Max finds her child after. She proceeds to open a door and then vanish and not help at all. Weird. We proceed to collect the Big Chief on our own and drive it back to the temple where Chumbucket mounts the V8 to our magnum opus. Finally, we have it. We can do what we set out to do and cross the plains of sight, and she's back to ask Max to hold up on an end of a deal that she never really held up on herself. Max agrees to find her child, to Chumbucket's dismay. With all the scrap I'd been hoarding, we upgrade the V8 engine to Max straight away and head off to the Underdune, where Hope's daughter apparently is. On the way, Max is about putting a couple of fuel tanks on the back of the magnum opus, which makes Chumbucket worry about his position on the car. After a short while exploring, buzzards find Chumbucket and the magnum opus, and Chumbucket abandons me. I eventually find her, and after a quick mini-boss fight with the buzzards, we return back to Hope with her daughter. After some questioning of Deep Fryer, we find out that Chumbucket has taken the magnum opus back to his ship, so we nicely ask for a car, and instantly we set off to go find him. Hope and Glory try to stop Max, but he isn't having none of it. He has a hunchback to find. After arriving at Chum's base, we find that Stank Gum had tracked Chum back and tortured him for information. Chumbucket had given up information on Hope and Glory. I had to kill Stank Gum. This fight was pretty straightforward. It works almost identically to Tenderloin, just reskinned. So we make a pretty quick work of him. We then find out that Scrotus was also here and heard Chum's information, and he is going to kill the girls. Max, with his newly found care factor, runs Stank Gum over. He should do it again with his track record of antagonists surviving, and heads off to hopefully beat Scrotus to them. And they are fucking dead. Scrotus beat Max there and killed them, sending Max into a rage frenzy hunting down Scrotus. This whole ending is where the story really loses it for me, and I think plenty of others. Max had his car and his V8, had all the equipment he needed to cross the plains of silence, as he had wanted. But then Scrotus kills two people he didn't really know at all, and now he is an emotional wreck that wishes death to Scrotus above all else. The sudden switch up in care factor where Max goes from not caring about anyone at all to caring about two near strangers just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But alas, we'll continue on. Max goes back to Scab, the blood bag from earlier, as he knows where to find Scrotus. Max instantly sets off to catch up with Scrotus's convoy, using the harpoon, shotgun, and thunderpoon, and make pretty quick work of the convoy. I totally didn't almost die. We finally defeat Scrotus's vehicle whilst dealing a massive blow to the magnum opus. Luckily, Chumbucket repairs it and brings life back to the monstrous V8. Scrotus is now sitting precariously on a cliff face, and Max decides the best course of action is to ram him, destroying the magnum opus and all that progress we had made toward crossing the plains of silence. You know, everything we had done so far. This again doesn't make sense to me. We could have just fired a thunderpoon at him or even left him for dead as he had no help around to rescue him. But anyway, Max drives full speed and bails out last minute, ramming Scrotus, not only destroying the magnum opus, but also killing Chumbucket as he would not leave his creation. Then we find out that did not kill Scrotus at all, and that he has our interceptor that we thought was destroyed for the whole game. Now, even though he has the interceptor, I still think my point stands. There is no way the interceptor in its state could go up against the opus with thunderpoons and the upgrades I had on it. Max now has to face Scrotus on foot with some conveniently placed boomsticks to damage him. After a couple of well-placed boomsticks, the Interceptor is defeated and so is Scrotus. He appears to have succumbed to his injuries.
Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah!
Max rips the saw out of Scrotus's skull and takes the somehow still operable Interceptor on the road, ending the game, with everyone dead and with Max ending up pretty much how he started the game. And that's the story. I know based off my earlier comments on how the story ends up that you may think I don't recommend this game, but here's the thing, I do. This game is near perfect in all the gameplay, sandbox, and progression. It is just a letdown by a poorly structured story that seems to lose the plot as we go on, mainly being around Hope and Glory. They aren't bad characters themselves, but I feel we weren't given enough time with them, even through the side quests I completed to really grow a connection with them, or at least not the kind of connection that Max appears to have with them upon their deaths. I genuinely believe this story could have been so much better had they been included in some more missions, or even by adding more missions around them to grow that care factor in a better paced way, not only between them and Max, but between them and you as the player. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this different type of video. I thought I'd try something different and do a semi-review and overview of the game. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, maybe even leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.